Good morning, students. So, today we will discuss the third level by Jack Finney. Dear students, there are two levels at the Grand Central Station, New York. But Charlie, the protagonist of the story, he asserts that there is third level too. Actually, this third level is only a medium of escape from the unpleasant life of New York to the pleasant life of Galesburg, Illinois. That was his birthplace. This title, The Third Level, it suggests that it's a medium of escape for the narrator. This modern life is full of insecurities, fear, and war. So, dear student, this chapter is basically a psychological journey of our narrator Charlie, the one who tries to interweave fantasy and reality in past, present, and in the future. Dear students, the protagonist Charlie is a 31-year-old guy and he is seen wearing a tan gabardine suit and a straw hat. He is an American who narrates his unusual experience of having been to the third level, which does not exist in the reality. It's only the part of his imagination. So, dear students, Charlie, only 31 years old man married to Louisa, and several times he had lost himself in the Grand Central Station. He always found himself bumping into new doorways and new corridors, and every time he had a new experience. He even had begun to believe that this Grand Central Station is growing just like a tree, that it was like a huge tree ever pushing new tunnels and new corridors like the roots under the ground. And once he got into a mile long tunnel and came out in the lobby of a hotel. At another time, he came up to the building of an office. So, dear students, there were certainly only two levels, but for Charlie, there were three, and he talked about it to his friends also. So, dear students, what happened one day? One day he got late from his office and he wanted to reach home soon. So, he went to the Grand Central Station to catch a train. He walked down to the first level, then walked down another flight of stairs. He thought he had reached the second level again, but he got lost and he walked down a corridor. He thought it was wrong, but he walked on downward and he walked down a short flight of stairs. He thought that he had reached the second level again, but actually he had reached the third level. This third level was entirely different and old fashioned. There were fewer ticket windows. The information booth was made of wood. The lights were open flame gas lights, and there were brass spittoons on the floor. Men had beards and sideburns. Women wore old fashioned dresses and high buttoned shoes. The railway engine was small with a funnel shaped stack. Everything looked a century old, and he walked to the newsboy, and there he glanced at the newspaper, The World, and the lead story was about President Cleveland. Later, Charlie found out from the library files that it was printed on June 11, 1894. So, dear students, he wanted to go to Galesburg. Actually, he had been there in his childhood days. It was a wonderful town with tremendous trees and frame houses. In 1984, this Galesburg was a heaven of peace and tranquility. People lived a carefree life. So, at third level, he went to the ticket office and he asked for two tickets for Galesburg, one for him and one for his wife Louisa. He paid the fare in modern notes, and modern notes which were entirely different from those in 1894. And the clerk thought that notes were fake and Charlie was trying to cheat him. So he threatened to get him arrested. And Charlie immediately turned around and fled as fast as he could. Next day, he bought old style notes from a coin dealer. He got only 200 old dollars for 300 new dollars, but he could never again find the corridor that led to the third level. And dear students, his wife Louisa was worried when she heard that her husband had bought old style notes. And dear students, so Charlie turned to his stamp collection. So, dear students, one day among his grandfather's collection of first day covers, he discovered an envelope. But before that, I want to tell you about that whatever he had experienced as third level, so he discussed this thing with his wife and one of his friends who was a psychiatrist, and his name was Sam. And dear students, his friends agreed with his psychiatrist friend, and they all said that his stamp collection was only a temporary escape. Charlie did not agree. He said that his grandfather started the stamp collection, and in his grandfather's days, life was peaceful, and his grandfather did not need an escape. So, dear students, you know what happened? That one day when he turned to stamp collection, so among his grandfather's collection of first day covers, he discovered an envelope. And the postmark showed that it had been there since July 18, 1894. He opened the envelope hand, but the paper inside was not blank. In fact, it was a letter from his friend Sam and psychiatrist Sam. You know, his psychiatrist friend Sam, whom he had often told about Galesburg. Dear students, so Charlie later on he came to know that Sam bought old currency worth $300. So, dear students, when he opened that envelope, so he found one letter for him, and it was sent by Sam. So, dear student, the postmark it showed July 18, 1894, and it was clear to him that his friend Sam had already found his third level. It means his escape from the harsh realities of modern life. So, dear students, Sam he claimed in his letter he mentioned that he had found the third level and he was in Galesburg, and he asked Charlie and Louisa keep looking for the third level. So this is the letter sent by Sam to Charlie. So dear students, in which he expressed like this: I got to wishing that you were right, I got to believing you were right, and Charlie, it's true, I found the third level. I have been here for 2 weeks, and right now down the street at Delhi someone is playing a piano, and they all are out on the front porch singing Sing Nelly Home, and I'm invited over for lemonade. Come on back, Charlie and Louisa. Keep looking till you find your third level, and it's worth it, believe me. So, dear students, now it's clear that Charlie had often told about Galesburg to Sam, and Sam had already gone there, and he even urged Charlie to continue to look for the third level and joined him in the Galesburg of 1894, as it was a wonderful place. Later, Charlie learned that Sam had bought $800 worth of old currency, and Charlie hoped Sam would have set up hay and feed business in Galesburg, because at that time the profession of psychiatrist it did not exist. So, dear students, and that was what he had always wished to. So, this is what we have in our chapter, the third level. Dear students, this chapter obviously has an unexpected ending, that Sam he got disappeared. Then Charlie found a first day cover that he had never seen before. Then there was a note from Sam, and it dated 18th of July, and it was from Galesburg. Then Sam asked Charlie and Louisa to come to Galesburg and enjoy a quiet and peaceful life. Then Charlie discovered that Sam had bought old currency and it worth $800. $800, and dear students, Charlie was sure that $800 enough to help his friend Sam, who was basically a psychiatrist, to start his hay and grain business in 1894 at Galesburg. Thanks a lot.